Hello friends, Culture and Anarchy. Welcome back to Mathew Arnold's concept of culture and anarchy. We have already done 2 lectures as introduction, and I think that now we have prepared the ground for a detailed discussion on this topic. And the 2 words here we can see a phrase here, sweetness and light. Sweetness means already we have seen that is love, and light means reason. These are the 2 most noblest, so to say. So these are the 2 noblest qualities when the confluence of which produces culture. I hope you understand what is meant by this. And this phrase, it is directly borrowed, boldly lifted from Jonathan Swift's The Battle of the Books by Mathew Arnold. Question 1 is, what are the motives for culture? There are some people who criticize culture. So they say it is curiosity. Curiosity is them. Further they continue, they say this is exclusiveness. And it is vanity. So, curiosity is one reason. Exclusiveness. That is, and also vanity. These are the motives for culture. Because when you say culture, you feel something is higher and all the other is lower. See? Therefore, that's why you remember now when we were discussing Raymond Williams' culture is ordinary. He says, no, I hate this park wall culture. That is separation. Some people are culture and the other is uncultured. Therefore, according to Raymond Williams, culture is ordinary. Okay. So now here what happens is that these people, they say that if you know a little bit of a smattering of Greek and Latin, then they say all those people are cultured. And there is a tendency to exclude people who are not cultured. There is a tendency for cultured people to be vainglorious. And again they say that it's as a result of the reason behind this is curiosity, and curiosity has a negative sense in England. Outside England it has got a positive sense, but in England it has a negative sense. There is nothing intellectual in it. It is sheer vanity. It is ignorance. It is valued for nothing but a separation. It is an engine of social and class distinction, separating from others. So what is culture? Culture is an engine. What is the purpose of this engine? Distinction, create a distinction, a separation. Social and class distinction. As we have already said, curiosity has a negative sense in England. But in other countries, in England, according to these people who say curiosity, it is frivolous and is unedifying activity. Unedifying is not a comparatively useless activity. But in foreign lands, Mathew Arnold says it's not like that, it has got a positive sense. For example, Sainte-Beuve, the critic, the French critic whom Mathew Arnold valued much, says that curiosity is a praiseworthy word. Intellectual curiosity, it is a praiseworthy word. But in England it is not like that. Curiosity is actually in an intelligent being, curiosity is laudable and it is natural. But in England it is not like that. In England it is to blame curiosity, it is like a blind, diseased state of mind. If somebody says that curiosity is to be blamed, it is blameworthy and not praiseworthy, that means such a person has got a sick mind. He has a blind and his mind is in a diseased state. His impulse, diseased. It's impulse, there's something wrong with the impulse of such people who blame curiosity. So that is the position here, please understand. Those people who criticize, those people who are against the word culture, they say that the motive is curiosity, it is vain, it is creating exclusiveness, that is separating the society, it's sheer vanity, ignorance, it has no value. And then curiosity in England has got a negative meaning. It has no curiosity there, it's not at all praiseworthy. But of course in other countries, say France for example, Saint Beuve, the critic, says that it is praiseworthy. It is an intelligent man's mind, intelligent man's intelligent being. For curiosity, in an intelligent man is laudable and natural. See that if anybody blames curiosity, that means something wrong with that person, isn't it? And Arnold quotes Montesquieu. What does Montesquieu say about curiosity? Montesquieu says, the first motive which ought to impel us to study, the first motive which ought to impel us for study, see that will take you to, see that the energy, you can say, the energy that should help you or move you forward to study. What is it? The desire to augment the excellence of our nature. The desire to augment means expand. The desire to make greater, that is augment the excellence of our nature, and to render an intelligent being yet more intelligent. Yet more intelligent. You want me to write this key sentence? Yes, I will write it on the board so that you can also write it. The first motive which ought to impel us to study. So the first motive which ought to impel us to study. The first motive to impel us to study. What is that first motive? And that is the desire to augment the excellence of our nature. The desire to augment the excellence of our nature. The excellence of our nature. So don't stop. There's no question of stopping, no full stop for your studies. So continue to augment excellence of nature and to render an intelligent being yet more intelligent. And to render an intelligent being more intelligent. So that is it. This is what Montesquieu says. This is you can use it, Montesquieu, the French philosopher. He says this. Now you can use it when you give public speeches. You can use it in the class when you advise your students. For counseling purposes, you can make use of this because it's loaded with meaning, loaded with positive strokes. See, for example, the first motive which ought to impel us, students and teachers, to study. Don't stop studying. The desire to augment the excellence of our nature and to render an intelligent being more intelligent. That's why now a teacher is a student. The best teacher is the best student. Because he is not satisfied with having something, we will see that later, but he is all the time trying to develop it, enhance it. So you say, oh, I got a job, it's enough. No, that's only stepping stone. So what should we do? Cultured person. The person who understands what culture is, he will have a scientific passion, and the culture is the fruit of that scientific passion. A person who is actually one who knows what the meaning of culture. So you understand the meaning of culture, then that is the fruit of a scientific passion. That's what we should understand. So it is actually, what is it? This is genuine scientific passion, and culture is its fruit. What is genuine scientific passion? This one. That is, the first motive which ought to impel these things, they stand in our way now. Yes. So impel us to study is the desire, is the desire to augment the excellence of our nature and to render an intelligent being more intelligent, says Montesquieu. And in 2 words we can sum up this. This is scientific passion. Scientific passion. And culture is the fruit. The fruit of this. Culture is the fruit of this. This is the first point that should go deep into our mind. When we say that the critics of culture, they say it is vanity, it is distinction, class distinction, it is smattering of Greek and Latin, it is for separating the society, different classes of people, and then creating a kind of inferiority complex in those people who do not have this sense of culture, etc. Then you understand this. We can answer this by Montesquieu's quotation, and then that is scientific passion, and scientific passion, it begets culture, or culture is the product of or the fruit of scientific passion. Understand? Now this is point 1. Now what about the second? The second is, so you understand what is motive. What is the motive for culture? Motive for culture is scientific passion. That's it. And then the second point to note here is, what is the ground of this scientific passion? There should be something, no? This is let's imagine this is a plant. Scientific passion is a plant. Where is the ground? So, second point today is the ground. The ground for scientific passion. What is the ground? The ground for scientific passion is, its origin is the love of perfection. The ground is, the origin is the love of perfection. So first is the fruit of scientific passion, culture. Very informative and loaded with meanings and quotations. Not only useful for your literary studies, but it is useful for many other purposes. I just now told you, if you want to motivate somebody, and this can be given to management. Suppose you are giving a class to managers or management studies, people who are doing management studies, or suppose you want to inspire students, or suppose you want to inspire teachers, you can definitely quote this quotation, take this quotation and present it before the audience and then motivate them. Because scientific passion means you augment your excellence. And there is no end to that. Any person who stops augmenting, any intelligent man who stops augmenting his excellence has committed suicide. Academic and moral suicide, I will say. Understand? Sometimes what happens, just one word about that, retired people, they will say, oh, it is not enough, what more? I know everything. So what is the use of all these things? Oh, now it is enough. There is no question of saying that anything is enough. You should go on doing. Then less use the brain. Definitely what will happen? Possibility is that 60 to 70% possibility is that you will be affected by Alzheimer's. See that? It doesn't mean I don't say that if you go on reading that will not happen, but there's a possibility. Therefore, what we should, an intelligent man should do is he should augment his excellence. Now, what is the ground for culture? The ground for culture is love of perfection. Love of perfection. It is the study of perfection. Not just the scientific passion for pure knowledge. Scientific passion can be just for pure knowledge without any consideration for human beings or humanitarian concerns. Not for pure knowledge, but also of the moral and social passion of doing good. So that's important. Doing good. Doing good prompted by social and moral passion. So two passions here. One is scientific passion and the other is love of perfection, doing good, motivated by social and moral passion. What is this social and moral passion? That I explain it further. No? That means first and foremost it is love of your neighbor. Love of your neighbor. And there you have got all the laws. Said it. All the laws, all the social relationships, all the community life, everything connected with community life comes in there. Love of our neighbor. Second is the impulse towards action, help and beneficence. Cultivate an impulse. Impulse towards action, beneficence, doing something good. Beneficence. So, action, impulse towards action and help, some beneficence and help. So that is the second thing. When you explain what is it, what is meant by moral and social passion. Third is the desire for removing human errors. Third, the desire for removing human errors. Human errors. So when you find people going astray and so on, you should stop. So here this Montesquieu quotation is very good, yes. For this clearing human confusion, and people are in doubt, clearing human confusion. I don't think I need to explain these things because if I explain further, it will become complicated. There are certain things like that. If you simple things, I can make complicated by explaining. I don't want to. Fifth is diminishing human misery. Almost the same thing, isn't it? Diminishing human misery. Look at this culture means. Is it vanity? Is it curiosity? Is it exclusiveness? This inclusiveness. Isn't it? Sixth is the noble aspiration for leaving the world better and happier than we found it. Very, very important. So the aspiration for sixth, the aspiration for leaving the world, are you taking this down? Better and happier than we found it. See, look at this, the depth. How profound is the concept of culture for Mathew Arnold. It's not vanity. It's not frivolous. So that is leaving the world better. And you see, for the first one we saw, the fruit of scientific passion we have support by the French philosopher Montesquieu, who says that the desire to augment the excellence of our nature. That's very important. Now for the second one, Mathew Arnold gives a quotation from a religious person, Bishop Wilson. Bishop Wilson, I think you have taken this down. This the second one is social and moral. So the ground for one is the motive, and then the other is the ground. So Bishop Wilson, he quotes Bishop Wilson. He says that to make reason and the will of God prevail. According to Bishop Wilson, he says, what is culture? To make the will of God. To make the will of God, you should make the will of God, the reason and the will of God prevail. To make reason and the will of God prevail. So that is, in other words, we say the kingdom of God. The idea of kingdom of God is religious idea. But it's kingdom of God where everybody is equal. Everybody is free. Everybody has sense. There's no error. Nothing of that sort. So these are the 2 points that we should keep in mind when we discuss Mathew Arnold's idea of or concept of culture. First it is, you have got an attack, vanity and all those. Second, we see the 2 points. One is the fruit of scientific passion, supported by Montesquieu. And the other is the passion for moral, isn't it? That is social and moral passion. One is scientific passion, the other is social and moral passion, supported by Bishop Wilson. That is to make, Bishop Wilson says, you have to make reason and the will of God prevail. Understand? So I think that you have been following me, the concept of culture as explained by Mathew Arnold. It is not vanity, it is not the separation, it is not building a park wall, it is not frivolous, it is curiosity, it is not for curiosity and all those things. And then he says, now strike the iron when it is hot. But Victorian age, this is the time. Why? Why is it the time? Because new horizons are opening up. Not only the social, political and scientific fields, but everywhere, even in religion. Present situation is that there is nothing is debarred. All the rigid, invincible exclusions, they are disappearing. Rigidity is disappearing. The iron curtain is being removed, we can say. The iron force of sticking to, adhesion or sticking to the old routine, social, political, religions have given way to new. So this is time when people are getting ready to receive something new. They are willing to change. And as we have seen, change is the only thing that will not change. That's a philosophical principle. That means changes will go on taking place. So this is the time, he says. Not only to learn, but to prevail. Moral, social, beneficial character of culture become manifest now. That's what. Therefore, he says, I have written this. The motive for writing is that also. Social, political, religious, every area, every field of human activity is changing, and people are willing to receive it. The mind of the people now like a blotting paper. Now is the time. Strike the iron when it is hot. Therefore, I present before you. I means Mathew Arnold. I am only a simple Mathew, Thomas Mathew, as you can see. But this is Mathew Arnold. He says that this is the time to present before you, means my countrymen, this idea of culture. What is this idea of culture? One is fruit of scientific passion, and the second one is the fruit of social and moral passion, of doing good, love of perfection, and inward state of mind, and also helping. So for one you have got support by Montesquieu, the other one you have got the support by Bishop Wilson. He says that to make reason and the will of God prevail. Now this is the time. I hope that you have been following. Today we discussed only this one point, and that is motives for culture. First we saw the scientific spirit of inquiry and passion for scientific inquiry, curiosity, which has got a negative meaning in England, but in other places it is not so. And second is the passion for social and moral action. Beneficence, doing good for this. And third we saw it is time. It is time also for us to wind up. Therefore, time being, bye, have a nice time, enjoy your life. Okay, bye.